Well, hello and good morning. We welcome you to the Thursday morning edition of 10 with Tom, and we're glad to see you this morning. I am in the car today and ready for a good day. It's been a busy week, but we're looking forward to big things happening soon, with church is getting ready to open again on May 31st for worship. We're hoping to see everybody there. I've been going through my devotionals at home over the past few days, I've been amazed at how many times in the different devotional readings that I do, the subject of adversity comes up. And I happen to be reading it again today. And so I'm going to share a story today about adversity, and we'll look at a few verses that go along with that. But the thing that I'm reading this morning started off with this: when tough times arrive, you should work as if everything depended on you, and pray as if everything depended on God. Good advice. Keep working hard through this. Keep preparing for whatever it is that God's got for us next. But keep praying for God to move in this, and when it's all over, to lead us and guide us as we're moving in a new direction. So continue to be praying, continue to be working as we go. But then we get into Romans chapter 5, verses 3 and 4 that says this: we also have joy with our troubles, because we know that these troubles produce patience, and patience produces character, and character produces hope. I love those words. Hope is something that we can all grasp onto. Hope is something that we all want, and so we yearn for hope. But in the midst of that hope, there's a process that gets us to living with hope. And it says that our joy is mixed with troubles. So troubles are going to happen. We are going to have trouble in this lifetime. We're obviously seeing that now with some of the troubles that we're experiencing. It's a part of our lives. The troubles make us stronger. The difficulties, I think back to a guy who graduated from my high school. His name is Spencer Lee. He's a wrestler. When he was in high school, he was one of the top high school wrestlers in America. He won the state championship his freshman year, his sophomore year, his junior year, and was about to finish an undefeated high school career. And in his final match, his senior year in the state championship, he led the whole way, and with 1 second left in the match, he was ahead by a point, and he relaxed and got ready to celebrate. And just as he let go, his opponent reversed it, got a 2-point reversal, and won the state championship from him. Now, Spencer could have been absolutely devastated by that, but instead, he was extremely motivated by it. He signed with the University of Iowa to be on the wrestling team. As a freshman, he was the NCAA champion. As a sophomore, he was the NCAA champion. He was favored to be champion again this year in his junior year, but it was wiped out by COVID-19. So there is no champion for this year. But even though he didn't win the championship this year, he won something even more. Spencer Lee was named the United States Amateur Male Athlete of the Year. That's a pretty prestigious honor. So his trouble as a high school senior didn't affect him. Instead, it motivated him. It says that our troubles produce patience. We know that there's a longer goal. And so we work through our troubles knowing that there are bigger things ahead. And that's what he did. And what a great example. He developed patience. He had to wait for a whole another season after that one loss to get back on the mats again. But he kept working and working and working. And he built that patience and the discipline into his training. All right. Then it says that patience produces character. You know, all the time that he was winning, he never lost sight of his character. That was something that was instilled in him as a very young age, partially because of all the work and discipline that he knew went into it. He knew that others were putting in work as well. And so there was a lot of controversy when he lost that match as a senior. Some people felt that the buzzer had gone off before the reversal took hold. But, you know, he never complained about it. He congratulated the young man who defeated him and moved on. So he showed character there. And again, that became part of his motivational process. Because he had character, because he knew what he could do, and he just put it into to work even harder. And then character produces hope. So as we develop those things into our lives, we get stronger and stronger and stronger. In Psalms 9, it says, "The Lord will be a stronghold for the oppressed," a stronghold in times of trouble. When we're building all these things on Christ, we have something strong that we can stand on, something strong that we can grip onto. And so we need to remember that and make Christ the foundation of all that we do and build that into our lives. And another thing, it leaves a very neat little tip here, that when we're going through those rough times, when we're having the troubles, don't go through them alone. If you're having tough times, don't hit the panic button, don't give up, don't keep everything to yourself. Instead, talk things over with people that you can trust. In the case of Spencer Lee, I'm sure it was his parents, I'm sure it was his coaches, to keep motivating him to keep moving forward. And so find somebody to talk to through these times. Don't let it bottle up inside. Make sure that you're letting other people know what all is going on. All right, you don't have to handle this all by yourself. So we give it to God and we share it with others as we work through all of these situations. Bill Hybels, who is involved with Willow Creek, which is one of the largest mega churches in the world, wrote that throughout history, when God's people found themselves facing impossible odds, they reminded themselves of God's limitless power. I like that. Got impossible odds, God has limitless power, and He can get us through. All right. One other place where I happened to see that work was my high school's won one championship in football ever. It was in 2005, and they started the season a little rocky. They won their first 3 games, and then they were ahead in a game, 17-7, when a lightning storm rolled in, and they were in the second half. And so the officials stopped the game and told everybody to go home, and they finished it the next day. Well, the next day, the other team came back and had made some big adjustments. They were rested up, and they came back and beat my high school's team by a field goal. Well, my high school team also had some injuries throughout the year. Their star quarterback got hurt, and they had to insert a new quarterback, and he just took over, and they learned to do some new things with his strengths. And one of the things they had was a tremendous running back. He rushed for over 2,200 yards that year. And they got all the way to the state championship game, even beating the team that had beaten them earlier in the year. They demolished them in the state playoffs. They beat the team that had won the state championship the year before, and they just kept rolling and rolling and rolling. Well, they get to the state championship game, and the star running back on the first 2 carries runs for 46 yards and puts him in position to score, but he injured his ankle, and he was out for the rest of the game. And the game was only a couple minutes old. So here they are without their quarterback, and now without their star running back. But the backup quarterback scored a touchdown on the very next play, gave them the lead. The backup running back performed very, very well, and the defense stepped up. The kicker had 3 long field goals. The defense was tremendous, and they won a state championship by sticking together through the adversity and making it happen. And all of those things that have been built into their season. Again, leading to character, the perseverance during those times of trouble and working through them and developing that character so that when things happened that could have shaken them in a state championship game, they never wavered. And so that's how you deal with it. So I hope we learned something about adversity today and know that we're going to get through this. Keep building your character on the character of Christ, and you're going to go places. Now, some people, I think, got caught off guard by the fact that we started Family Feud yesterday on 10 with Tom. So I don't know how many people got the word out today of how we're doing it, but we're at that time. So let me give you today's question for 10 with Tom. And again, you can answer 1 time per hour. If you get a thumbs up, that means you got a correct answer. If you get tears, it means your answer's incorrect, but you're going to be trying again in an hour. And if you get an angry face, it means that you answered more than once in that hour time, and your answer has been disqualified. So if you're one of those who likes to scavenge back through, if you see ones with anger on them, it means they could be right. We just can't count them. So keep that in mind as we keep playing. So round 2 today, and our question is this. If it wasn't for Mom in the morning, name something that kids would probably never do. We've got 5 answers on the board today, and one more time that question, if it wasn't for Mom in the morning, name something that kids would probably never do. So have fun with it, have a wonderful day, and we will see you guys tomorrow morning on 10 with Tom. Happy Thursday, guys. I love you.